Hey everybody, my name is Ekdahl. I'm a personal trainer. I'm a strength and conditioning coach with the National Strength and Conditioning Association. But most importantly for you, I'm a TPI certified golf fitness instructor, which means that I train a lot of golfers. And I train both women and men. But I want to talk today about some specifics around women's injuries and the areas that we need to strengthen to have a safe and effective golf swing and hence a safe golf game. So when I train my female golfers, we work a lot on abdominal strength or anterior core. We work a lot on hip and glute strength. Those are the big drivers of power in your golf game. But an overlooked area that many women don't work on is their shoulder muscles. So what the heck do you do for your shoulders? So I'm going to pretend I'm addressing the ball. And on the backswing, my arms are nice and long, right? And you can see that I've got this big twist through my thoracic spine. So just as a caveat, before I show you these shoulder strengthening exercises, you have to have good rotation. And if you're the kind of person that's at a desk all day at the computer, you're going to lose rotation. So just to make sure that you're always working on rotational drills for your upper back, because really your golf swing is dependent on that rotation. And that could be something as simple as a lying side twist like in yoga, or you could sit in a chair and work on your mobility as well. So there's lots of ways to do that. So I want to show you some basic exercises for strengthening the rotator cuff. Now, first of all, a really nice drill that I like to do before my golf game is this drill here. This is called no money. You know, I ain't got no money. And what this is doing is warming up your rotator cuff, squeezing through the back of the shoulder. Now, I know this doesn't look like golf, but on the backswing, look at this arm here. It's bent in the same position as this. And on the follow through, my left arm is also bent like this. So any activity where you're rotating out is going to help your golf game. The second exercise I'm going to show you is for the back of your shoulder and part of your rotator cuff, and it's going to make a lot of sense when you start thinking about how to get your arms straight. So if you really want to get straight arms, which is very important, okay, for swing path, make sure you're warming up your mid-back, getting a lot of rotation, and let's add these two exercises in. So I use a lot of different bands for my clients. And by the way, I'm going to show you some stuff with these bands, but you can also simulate these activities with free weights. Now, if you haven't been strength training and you haven't been working your shoulders, you might want to start with something as small as this. Okay, and when I say small, I mean easy. This is a yellow band. This is a little harder. This is still a pretty light tube, and I love these tubings. They're portable, they're lightweight, you can do a million different things. So the first exercise I'm going to show you, we're going to use this yellow band, and it's not a hard exercise, and it's a variation of no money. I already showed you no money. So now you're going to have your elbows in at your side, your palms up. You can grab one of these TheraBands or one of the orange tubes I showed you, and you're just going to pull out. So I'm working my rotator cuff muscles, my upper back muscles, and the back of my shoulders. So I, again, call this no money, but it's also called standing shoulder external rotation. So if I were to use the orange band, I just take this band, and I do the same thing. I love this drill. Or this exercise. I think it's pretty easy to execute and very user-friendly. Now, if you have a history of shoulder issues, especially rotator cuff issues, remember, you're always going to talk to your doctor or your physical therapist before starting any of these exercises, because this could be too hard and then you could re-injure yourself. So I want you to make sure that you start easy with a light band before you move on. So that's a standing external rotation, also called no money. Now we know this isn't really how we golf, right? That really it's up here, here. So here's another much harder version of this drill. I'm going to bring my elbow up, and you can see my elbow and my arm are in alignment with my shoulder, and I'm anchoring here, and I'm just going to pull up like this. Now this is much harder than I'm making it look, because I have to hold my right shoulder up. You can't do it here, right? My elbow has to be up. So I'm going to rotate up and I'm going to rotate down. And I'm really working on keeping that right shoulder and elbow in alignment. So I'm not dropping my elbow down. Same thing on the other side. I have a nice 90-degree angle here, and it's basically just doing this with some resistance. Now, if you have really weak shoulders, maybe it would be smart to start this with no band at all, right? Just try the motion, see how it feels. I love that variation. It's more advanced, but your shoulders are up, which is what happens in golf. So that's one exercise. I just gave you 3 different variations. Let's do a shoulder strengthener. So this next exercise is called a standing reverse fly. And lots of times people do reverse flies in a bent over position with free weights, but we're going to do it standing with this. And again, you could use this yellow thing instead if this is too hard. So this is kind of hard. So you're going to take the tubing, and I'm going to ask you to wrap your hands so that you don't slide. And your arms are straight in front of you. So this is what it looks like from the side. And you're going to pull across your chest. This makes sense, right? On my backswing, this is what my right arm has to do to initiate proper club placement on the backswing. And on the follow through, it's the left arm that has to pull back. So this is a reverse fly. And you might want to do 8 to 10 of them. I recommend you're in a rep range of 8 to 12 for all of this. So if something's really hard, do 8 reps. If it's easy, do 12 reps. So that's called a standing reverse fly with tubing, but I'm going to change it now. So this is a more advanced version. Again, you're going to start with your arms at chest height. Your palms are down. I'm keeping my wrist in neutral. Don't cock your wrist. Don't cock it down. Don't cock it up. Just keep it straight, and you're going to pull across your chest. So in this variation of reverse fly, I'm going to do 4 pulling across my chest, and then I'm going to go diagonal. So I'm going to go, one arm is slightly overhead, and one arm is pulling down. So I'm working multiple angles of the back of the shoulder. Now I'm going to go in the other direction, here. So one arm goes up, one arm goes down, but we're working the muscles in the back of the shoulder through many of the same motions in our golf swing. So I hope those exercises are useful for you. Just to recap, you're going to make sure that you have really good rotation through your thoracic spine, not your low back, your mid-back. These are variations of rotator cuff and shoulder exercises, which can really help you keep your shoulders safe from injury. And even though shoulders aren't the main driver of movement, think about 100-mile-an-hour club head speed if you're an elite female golfer. Your arms are being pulled out of the sockets. And the purpose of the rotator cuff is to keep your arm bones safely in the socket. So your ability to have straight arms come through the ball and finish without injuring anything is about resiliency. Not only do our muscles need to be flexible, but they need to be strong enough and resilient enough so that we can produce power and get a little better distance and enjoy the game and not get injured.